It's 2022, and that's in itself a piece of good news, for the last year was quite lopsided in the same way 2016 was lopsided. In 16, I neglected the Romanian language channel in order to help with the great meme war. In 21, I neglected this channel in order to prevent my country from turning into narco-state dictatorships like the Netherlands, which locks people up on Christmas over a cough, or a clown dictatorship like Italy, where the exact same individual can be healthy enough to be a waiter at the bar, but not healthy enough to be a customer at the exact same bar. That, however, meant too much silence on this channel, and in December the agony was made worse by a community guideline strike, apparently commenting on how Joe Biden gets kicked to the curb in court is haram or something. But since I'm not in the business of complaining, let me tell you how we'll roll in 2022. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Freedom Alternative in the year 2022. I hope you had a blessed Christmas and a wonderful New Year's Eve party. I know I did, with the available members and friends of the Freedom Alternative Network. For the last 10 years, I've been using the New Year parties as an opportunity to plot things with people I trust. So let me tell you what's in the bag for this new year. First of all, of course, I need to finish the story about Moldova. The third episode comes up in just a few days because it's been 90% done since early December, but a local emergency here in Romania intervened and I had to deal with that first. You might have seen some of that emergency in the international media known as the December 21st event. Secondly, during December I taped 31 episodes of a new show called The Propaganda Basement. 4 or 5 of those episodes are in English, the rest are in Romanian. The first 3 episodes are already published, and the idea is to publish one each week, provided that I can keep up with the editing as well as with my other obligations. The ratio is like this because that's how the donor circle decided. Now, speaking of which, the role of the donor circle will continue to increase in 2022 because in the last year we had to lean on our most dedicated donors several times, so it is thus natural to also increase transparency to them, and yes, some perks too. In the donor circle, you also get earlier access to shows, access to all sorts of material not available for free anywhere else, and a say in some of our projects. So if you qualify for the donor circle, make sure you join us there. Now, how do you know if you qualify? Well, the conditions are on the website. Speaking of the website, the role of the website will also be increased quite a bit, precisely because keeping in touch with the community that has been formed within and around this network. Keeping in touch with you all, it has to happen not only in a secure, orderly and biunivocal fashion, but also uncensored. So whilst Telegram has been filling this need in an acceptable fashion since 2017 and more accelerated since 2019, when it replaced Facebook quasi entirely, Telegram has its drawbacks too. First of all, it's tethered to a phone number. It doesn't have a function to organize things, and in theory it can also be subjected to censorship, although in practice it turned out to be a much more resilient entity to pressures when compared to Facebook, Instagram and others. So, to help with that, we started a newsletter. We won't use it often, but from time to time, especially when we do something unexpected, like publishing an expected podcast anywhere else but not on YouTube, or we have something to show that is susceptible to censorship on normie media, we will make use of the newsletter. So please head to freedomalternative.com/newsletter and subscribe there. I may also make mini reports from time to time to send via the newsletter. Always short, but with many links. Also, generally, the new podcasts are announced on the website, so get into the habit of checking that one first before sending emails or messages on Telegram. When does the next episode appear? See you on the website. Now, speaking of Facebook, Instagram, and normie media in general, our Facebook page got deleted. Collateral damage of the ongoing battle we're taking against the National Liberal Party here and President Klaus Johannes in particular. Now, personally, I was willing to let it die anyway. In fact, in some ways, you can say that I sacrificed the Facebook page intentionally. However, enough in the community disagree and insist that a presence there is needed and welcomed. I'm not convinced, but I'm also not strongly against the idea, provided that I don't have to work that much. So soon enough, we will endorse such a page. On Instagram, we already do have a presence, we just didn't take enough care of it, largely because posting there from a desktop is incredibly complicated and most of our shit posters, including yours truly, are using desktop almost exclusively. With that said, we sure do need to do more there as well. Now, on a more complicated topic, on alt tech. Now, I have to admit that I'm inches close to just say, fuck the alt tech in toto. I've been complaining about them for years, but things have become simply unbearable. BitChute, for instance, not only hasn't improved, but it has in fact gotten worse. Years as a paying customers and still haven't gotten an automatic sync for the extra channel I was paying for. Additionally, now they've introduced a 2 GB limit for any new upload. Now, that's enough. I won't be paying a shekel anymore for their service. That's just unacceptable. Then there's Odyssey. In addition to not taking long clips from YouTube, it also has a 10 GB limit for upload, which means well-polished videos, such as the ones from Moldova or reports from protests that are in very high quality, simply cannot be uploaded there. All of these may be acceptable to some of you in the name of upholding the philosophy or whatever, but it is totally unacceptable to me. I will not be rendering podcasts 2 or 3 times, once for YouTube and then once more to fit with random constraints by flashy apps that are distinctly inferior to YouTube. The basic philosophy here is quite simple. We already have about 7 or 8 people, including yours truly, who donate their time for the operation. Any increase in workload has to be justifiable. Be on platform whatever because it's alt tech is just not good enough justification. So until something happens, my relationship with alt tech goes on pause. I will of course leave the automatic syncs in place, so most videos in English will be automatically posted on BitChute and Odyssey, and some videos in Romanian will be automatically posted on Odyssey, but I won't be making an active effort anymore in promoting these alternative platforms. Oh, and please stop shilling Rumble to me. Not only it is inferior even to Odyssey, but it's based in Canada, which to me means it's subjected to that country's insane speech laws. Thanks, but no thanks. Back to the website. Subjected to the decision of the donor circle, I may add throughout the year some hidden elements accessible only to donors. In the meantime, however, I made it a habit of posting at least an article a week. I can't promise to keep it multilingual though, but I'll try. But what I want, however, is to keep the direction of the website in an activist direction. Lately, I've been posting there a lot of detailed instructions on how to fight against the regime in Romania, and I intend to keep that direction. Hopefully, soon enough, I'll be able to post texts in English too that are activist-minded. The point being, I want a place to refer to whenever, okay, and then what? Well, here's what you have to do. Because getting your ass out there is mandatory. By the way, subjected to long inertia, we do take submissions on the website too. topics@freedomalternative.com is a great way to get your article published. I will soon polish some editorial guidelines in order to streamline the process as well. In other news, this year we're making the Gulag tour. Now, the last portion that I was waiting for got opened in December 2021, and the only missing piece of information right now is how much is the COVID-19 tax. You can call it a bribe if you want. I prefer to call it a new visa tax, or perhaps jizya for the undocumented. Anyway, as soon as I have that piece of information and I do the math, I will resume the fundraising for that exactly from where I left it off in 2020. Since then, I also found several ways to get there, regardless of anyone's opinion, so with the right amount of shekelim gathered, I'm confident enough that there won't be any problems. In fact, Kazakhstan was the only problem all along. The other two, Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan, de facto ended this madness in September 2020. Anyway, the point is that we're going to the gulag no matter what. Worst case scenario, I get to see a different flavor of madness in Kazakhstan and tell you a great story about Kyrgyzstan, which had an amazing period in late 2020 and throughout 2021 with elections annulled, ex-president forcibly taken out of jail and put in charge, then legit re-elected, and routine exercise of Second Amendment rights as the only democracy in the region. Most likely scenario, I get to show you how normal people function, which is a much needed story for Western Europeans and coastal Americans. One more thing. This year there will be elections in Hungary. I do plan to go there for at least a few days. Not only I must meet again the fans in Hungary, but the results of the elections in Hungary are of quite importance for the Intermarium in particular and for the European Union at large. The only problem that I have now, really, is that the night train from here to Budapest still doesn't run properly because of panic cards in the Hungarian bureaucracy. But hopefully that will be solved as well, and if not, I'll find another way. I mean, heck, Budapest is closer to me geographically than Bucharest. It can't be that hard. Well, I guess that will be pretty much it for now. Throughout January, I'll work harder to compensate on this channel for the lack of activity in December, and off we go for a new year. We'll also hold a Q&A this month. I'll also publish at least one new episode, if not two, of Knowing Romania, and of course continue with this story in Moldova, and quite a few other surprises. It's gonna be complicated. And a complicated year for sure. I mean, France also has elections, there are the midterms at the end of the year in the US, there's federal elections in Australia, general elections in Brazil, in Serbia, in Slovenia, in Sweden. It's gonna be a long year with a lot to talk about here on the sofa. And we'll cover them all, because that's why some of you all come here, to see what's up beyond the headlines. In the end, I want to thank everyone for their patience, especially those who've endured the absence on this channel. Also, many thanks for everyone's involvement in our projects in 2021, especially our donors. We couldn't have done most without you. And I hope all of you will stay with us for the year that is just now starting. And with that, I will wrap this up. Thank you all for watching. I wish you all a happy new year. Don't forget to subscribe, visit our website regularly, maybe give a shekel, and I will see you all soon on the Freedom Alternative.